Okay.
How's it look?
Looks good.
Right? So as you noticed today, we had probably 400 or 500. I don't know what the final count was.
Introduce yourself?
Yes, my name is Hugo Xavier. I'm with the Quebec office of the English language, but we all work closely together here with many groups. The other main group was Unity Group that organized today's protest. This is February 17th, 2013, and it's against the project of the law that might, discussions of Law 14, which is an extension to Bill 101. They want to redo Bill 101 and make it more severe. And this is something that we just find absolutely disgusting, and as the 4 or 5 speakers here who showed up, they reiterated the fact that this is an odious law. We do not need an extension to Bill 101. If anything, we need to replace Bill 101 with something that reflects the reality of Quebec society, which is a bilingual society, multicultural society, not a unilingual society that has this échec nationaliste involved where they're pushing unilingualism and isolating Quebec from the rest of the world. We do not want a Quebec that is isolated from the rest of the world. We want Quebec to be open to the rest of the world, and that involves having English recognized as an official language. That's why there's another group also that is pushing called Critique, Canadian Rights in Quebec, and they're pushing hard to have this idea that English is not an official language put in the past. We have to recognize that English, the community here of a million English speakers and 1.5 million non-francophones that have a right to use English in Quebec, and they can get services in Quebec. And we would also like to maintain, it's one of the problems we have with Bill 14 is that it wants to cut away bilingual status to a bunch of communities. There are about 90 municipalities and over 70 communities in Quebec that are bilingual and have official bilingual status. We want to maintain these historic communities and allow English speakers in Quebec to thrive, because a majority of us are bilingual. We're not a threat to the majority of Quebec. We are only helping the French language by speaking more other languages, and we want them also to have a chance to learn English. And Bill 14 is not only going to take away the rights that Francophones don't have currently to go to English schools, but will stop them from going to CEGEPs also. CEGEP is between university and high school. It's sort of a middle school between, it's grade 13, 14 and so forth. And we want to make sure that the rights to choose the language of education are maintained. And ultimately, Bill 101 should be changed to allow Francophones into the English school system, because we are currently starved out of it, starved out of students. Immigrants as well cannot make the choice to go to an English school system in Quebec. And before Bill 101 days, we had around 250,000, 260,000 students in the school system, the English-speaking school system in Quebec. Now we're down to around 100,000 or less. And they're starving. They need oxygen, they need students, they need something to progress in the society here, which is not a unilingual society. No matter what the nationalist politicians and the ethno-nationalist politicians say in Quebec, we are still here, we are Quebecers also, and we want our rights back, we want the right to choose. And Bill 101 has already taken that right away, but Bill 14 will extend it to CEGEPs as well, and this is disgusting. And that's why we're speaking out, as many of us, all of us, together today. No matter what group we're from. I'm from the Quebec office of the English language. There are people from Canadian Rights in Quebec. The main organizers today are the Unity Group and PutBackTheFlag.com. PutBackTheFlag.com saw a huge growth in popularity in the past fall when Marois and her Péquist buddies wanted to take the Canadian flag out of the National Assembly in Quebec City, which is the provincial legislature in Quebec. This is disgusting because it's stabbing Francophones outside of Quebec in the back, like Jacques Saint-Cyr, who helped design the Canadian flag. And they're trying to de-Canadianize Quebec as much as possible, and they're trying to make, with Bill 14, the Quebec identity as being only French-speaking and isolating us from the rest of the country and stamping out any chance of bilingualism by reducing the number of bilingual communities and specifically municipalities from choosing to be bilingual and maintaining their bilingualism. What else can I say?